c4. I was wrong as usual.
Wow. So c4, e3. Aha, c4, e5.
He's playing the Alapin with colors reversed and the extra move a3, which I'm not sure how crucial that is. But Fabi doesn't take on d4, goes e4. That's a bit of a shocker.
And f5. Wow, I have never seen this position
Either
before.
And now a3 makes perfect sense, stopping all kinds of bishop b4s.
Yeah, I'm
Caruana
loving this for white, yeah.
Taking big risks here early on.
Yeah, white has so many different ways, and I would argue that this is very much Hikaru's territory, but he goes DC, BC.
Takes on c6, also surprising.
Yeah, I'm a bit surprised by this. This is the reason, yeah. So Hikaru just wanted to clarify the structure, get the bishop to f4, e3. So, but how do you develop? So knight e2, and then this knight goes to d4, bishop to e2.
Yeah,
that's the setup.
It's time. He even finds time to play h3.
Yeah, that was my concern also. That if I go knight e2 immediately, there is knight h5.
Yeah, strategically very risky position for Fabi. White just gets the pieces out. It's the rooks in the middle. There are many weaknesses in the black camp.
I have the same impression that d takes c6 came as a surprise, but now that we see what Hikaru had in mind, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah, I don't like this for black one bit. So much easier to play with white as well. Bishop e2, queen d2, castles, rook fd1, rook ac1, then see what gives. And just as I say it, Nakamura forces the issue with pawn to c5. Very interesting.
Yeah, and then he wants to go for against d5. He wants to go for some b4, b5 ideas, I guess.
Yeah. Pronouncing this bishop is a little strange on d7. Now, Fabi in trouble here, and I'm a bit surprised how he handled the opening, that he went for this d4, e4, f5. He's such a clean player usually. Maybe a little overzealous against Nakamura to make it a fight.
Yeah, but I mean, my feeling is that exactly this is the way how you should never play against Hikaru. I mean, you play into his hands. He is an incredible player, and if you let him play, then this is what you're gonna get.
Yeah, and the one weakness he could have is that sometimes he doesn't manage to get a game, which we saw in the Rapid. But here, he very much has a game. Let's see if Caruana can hang in there. Also way behind on the clock already. Looks pretty bad. In the meantime, the Carlsen Yu Yang Yi is still, I think, a theoretical position, more or less. This is one of my favorite old lines, which you can't use every game. It's too drawish, but you can throw it out there every now and then. And what happened here?
But hang on, black wasted a tempo on h6. It's not the same.
Sorry, it's not that line. Sorry. It looked like it, but it was with h6 included. That's why I'm confused. That makes it different.
I mean, I almost have the feeling that the computer is trolling us. I mean, I can't believe Yu Yang playing h6 against Magnus.
It's Magnus' own territory. But looks like Yu Yang is doing all right. He can take on c4.
Yeah, then takes knight b5.
That's the idea.
Yeah, it's also typical, but I do feel like I recall this kind of stuff, but definitely it wasn't coming from third move h6.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe with the bishop on c1 and the pawn on h7. Something like this has been seen before. Some Ahmadiyarov Tari and so on.
Yeah, this is very typical. But okay, back to Hikaru, because I feel like now also, I mean, knight e2, knight f4, this b4, b5 break, everything is hanging in the air.
Fabi's trying to hang in there. Queen to c7.
Yeah, he has to make sure to stop b4, b5. If b4, b5 is played by white and white breaks the structure, it's game over. Keeping an eye on the c5 pawn, very important. Knight e2, knight f4 maneuver had been played. So now very tempting to try to bring that queen to c3. But Hikaru also breaks with b5 immediately.
Still, that looks very unpleasant. cb knight d5, even knight f3, queen f3. Doesn't help like that much.
Not at all. I mean, this knight on f4, bishop d4, this is total cement. And also mating ideas are coming on the log diagonal.
Well, b6, not exactly tempting either. No, rough spot for Caruana. Really, this game went wrong from the get-go.
Yeah, like after move 4-5, we're already shocked, yeah, that how could this happen to Fabi?
Yeah, why would choose this? We will never know. But let's see if Nakamura converts. Normally, a strength of his. Now decision, BC or B6, both look interesting. Plays B6.
And Queen C2.
No nonsense, also threatening Queen C3 now.
Yeah, it will be a very, I mean, double, triple attack. Yeah, attacking the rook on A5, knight on E5, pawn on G7. Yeah, knight C4 jumps, but still.
Like D3, very.
Protecting the C5 pawn, very smart. Yeah, F4 had to be played. I mean, black needs to create some counterplay. E takes F4, runs into some bishop G6, and eventually the C5 pawn might be a target.
He's trying to change the nature of the position. Still looks terrible. But let's see if he can confuse Hikaru. Queen C3 played, rook A3 and rook B3. And takes. Do we have knight D2? Doesn't do it.
But
Takes on E3, but something happened. This is a mess now.
What is Hikaru doing? I mean, why does he lose the grip?
I think he blundered rook A3 after Queen C3.
Of course. Yeah, that's for sure.
And the queen can't stay on this diagonal. And now it's a mess.
Okay, Fabi very low on the clock.
Oh, and the million moves are coming in at the same time. Knight B4, bishop to E8. Knight takes D5. I think this was missed. And Hikaru's back in control. Yeah, Fabi paying the price here for his clock management. Now he seems lost.
And now we see that maybe Hikaru didn't miss anything. It was part of his plan to mix things up here with this knight B4 idea. Hitting the pawn on C6.
Okay, but bishop E8 was a big gift. And Hikaru does win the game.
Yeah, a big win for Hikaru.
Always nice for him to beat Fabi, obviously. So let's switch to the top board, where Magnus Carlsen is still struggling somewhat against Yu Yang. Just played bishop B6, if takes D7. But black will have 2 pawns. 3 pawns.
3 pawns for the exchange.
That's enough pawns.
The point is that, however, white can always take on C6 and on A6. It should be a draw. But maybe Magnus still wants something. He's up on the clock. But I don't believe that you can, I mean, the knights are just to some, but who knows? Yeah, maybe Magnus feels that the bishop on B6 blocks all these pawns, tries to create some play on the king side.
Risky. At some points the knights might jump. He's acting like it's all under control. It's rook D7, rook takes B7 now.
Yeah, I think knight E5 played. After all, 3 pawns are 3 pawns.
Hard to argue with that.
Now the knights are jumping. Maybe we can zoom in. Yeah, maybe we have a better view on with the zoom.
Yeah, because also we need to get this synced. Draw great, apparently.
Okay, draw.
Because the live board is always a couple seconds ahead of the DGT board. So it's spoiling the action. But yeah, Carlsen does not come close to victory there. But draw is not exactly the end of the world.